Awesome.
Welcome, ladies and gents, and let's get into it. It's J2 and Jesse here, Thursday. That means it's an Ask Me Anything hour. Thursdays, that's what we do. We let you ask us anything. Or, as Jesse decided to rename this week's, Don't Ask Me Anything. We'll see about that. We are on TikTok here and our YouTube audience. Good afternoon to you. It's 3:30 here. Tell us where you are all over the world and hopefully somewhere in North America so we can help you become your own banker. It's code cracking cash flow. That's our mantra and motto around here, and that's what we help people do and accomplish. Jesse, I thought maybe, just maybe, we'll see who joins us this afternoon, but I thought maybe we could listen to money musicals out there. You know any songs that have to do with a money theme? What if that's what we talked about?
That would be interesting.
Okay, so let me see if I even set up the computer the right way first off, and let's see if we can, my favorite money tune of all time, I'll play second. My first money tune is going to be...
I'm going to throw a Spanish one at you, actually. I've got a Spanish song sticking out in my mind.
Do you? Sticking out?
Yeah, but I don't want to sing it, that's for sure. So,
how's your singing voice?
and it wouldn't make sense. I'm a drummer. That's the answer.
Oh, got it. Got it. If you are out there, ladies and gentlemen, on our TikTok, this is a great way to get in one-liner comments all the time. So if you like, love, or learn anything, you can double tap on the screen and show us your support. But what we're able to do is get into a lot of rapid fire, ask us anything, commentary that could be helpful to you. We've got the 3-cup set up on the table, and if you pre-register for this event, end up on our Zoom experience or YouTube, you're going to see one or two different things, potentially, and that can be helpful to you as well. So
we're happy to get into the hard subjects.
yes, my man, right? We just going to make it, it's not stiff for us. We can break it down, make it malleable.
What's up,
you
Liz?
know? Liz, where's she at?
YouTube.
YouTube. How can you tell? Where are you?
Comment. Real small. She's giving us a hand wave.
There she is. Gosh, I'm wearing contacts today. So you wear contacts?
Nope.
Not at all. Must be nice. Whew. Must be nice. Can we hear this? In the headphones? There it is. Yeah.
I can.
We're going to have this going on in the background a little bit. Listen to us. If you don't know the song, everybody, here comes Jesse. It's got that gospel feel.
Okay, yeah.
You feel it? You hear it?
I do. Hear it in the piano. I've never heard the song.
I got bills. Okay, since you guys can't hear it out there, I think you can hear it if you are on Zoom. I think you can hear that. I don't know. Liz, can you hear that? Could you hear it, Liz?
Yeah, comment if you could hear that.
Maybe she could. I don't know.
She's commenting, but I don't know if
She is. Could you hear the music? I don't know. I think maybe you can if it's going through the computer and the Roadcaster system. But we're here in the headquarters, in our office here, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about money here this hour. This Ask Me Anything experience every Thursday on the Cash Compound channel. Follow us there. Is where we talk about cash flow. We talk about, it doesn't matter if you make $10 an hour or $10,000 a day. That's what some of our partners over at the Money Multiplier say. If you know them, you could. Okay. All right, cool. So we're gonna throw in some.
Cool.
I don't know if our TikTok audience, maybe they'll have to feed us the questions, but me, you, and Liz right now currently, there's nobody on the Zoom experience this week. Maybe that and the 94 people on TikTok will rendezvous between all of us. What's up, Jake?
Yep, Jake's with us. Okay.
Okay, Jake in North Spartanburg somewhere. He said Gaffney to me on the phone before he came down.
Okay.
And then he's got a Spartanburg address. I'm in Greenville in South Carolina, so I'm going to say it must be north. Boiling Springs. I don't know.
I get those things. I'm close to one post office, but I'm physically closer to a different city, so maybe it's one of those things.
Right. The zip codes are the post offices, right?
Yeah.
However that got set up. When did that start, zip codes?
You got me.
Probably around zip codes. When did they start, you think? Zip codes. Who knows? You guys ever get on like Instagram and do that ASMR stuff? You guys into that? Sounds like I'm eating vegetables. Okay, All right, here we go. Following a new homeowner. What's up, Drummer Keith? Drummer Keith, I think you've been here recently before.
Drummer. Very cool.
Okay, we got a drummer right here as well. Ladies and gentlemen, on this channel, you can ask us anything about setting up custom insurance policies for your banking needs. If you've ever heard of infinite banking, this is where you want to go. Let me tell you right now about a call that I took earlier today. I had a call from a guy, we're going to name him G, okay? And G texted me yesterday and said, hey, I think you're who I'm looking for the last 4 years. He ended up telling me this today.
Makes
for the last
sense.
4 years, I have been trying to figure out, because I have a whole life insurance policy that I got from my brother, he's an agent, how to leverage it properly, because I know you can borrow money from it. It seems like this financing idea for some of my real estate projects, this dude might be 35.
Okay.
Lives 5 minutes from me, walking.
Neat.
Like he knew what I've never met him. Texted me for the very first time. I mean, he said, I see you in the neighborhood or something. So I was like, he knows where I live. And he was like, my buddy Hunter, he's a new loan partner with us. If you need loan servicing, we're getting right into it today. We're just diving in. He told me, I think I've been looking for you in this 4 year, but I've been asking all sorts of people. And I said, yo, you need X book, this one right here, Becoming Your Own Banker from Nelson Nash. And he calls me today and says, all right, I basically finished the book last night. So I guess he had it, unless he found it in the bookstore yesterday. He was like, this is exactly what I was looking for.
PDF now. I
Maybe
didn't
it wasn't
even
a hardback.
download that till recently. So,
Oh, yeah. I think my brother has a PDF. I think I have a 6th edition PDF.
I got you.
And he was like, this is it. This is what I've been trying to figure out. Yeah, he was like, I knew it was in there somewhere in the last 4 years of me working with my life insurance idea. I don't know if he's taken loans from his policies or not, but he was like, this is it. And if you're the one who can walk me through the strategy of how to set them up and how many I'm supposed to have so I can fund these big deals I got coming up and be able to use. And I was, well, that was easy.
Fantastic.
That was
Very
easy.
cool.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll see him in person soon. I said, let's just get together, you know? So if that's you, let's get into it. Let's not even do overview for a second. What we're really doing is we're strategizing on how you can become a financial expert in your own banking system. Okay, we're not even going to start at the beginning. If you got beginning questions, no, we'll help you. But he was like, I'm looking to finance projects from life insurance, and I don't think I've ever met anyone who's explained this to me well, even though I have a whole life policy I can borrow
Because
from.
they've never done it.
They've never done it. And it was like, I was like, we're your guys. Here at the Cash Compound, that's what we do. If you want to click a link somewhere, you're going to be able to experience a full-length video. Our feature around here is 55 minutes. And if you watch our Save and Spend System video, our presentation, we're going to walk and talk you through how practically it's going to work for you to understand how to finance from life insurance.
Yep.
Then we can set it up. A lot of people don't realize that because we're educators first. This man was a high school Spanish teacher himself. We're talking about how to do it, why to do it, what's the best way to go about it. And sometimes people miss, like, so can you help me? Oh, yeah, we can do that
we're
too.
Those people.
Yeah, we can do that too. We can do that too. All right, cool. Appreciate the comments out here. Let me check them.
Well, that's funny. I'll tell you one of my calls then. So I had a 55-year-old off the top of my head, mid-50s anyway, and he was a good saver, had tens of thousands of dollars saved up, which was great because that's a big thing that you can have come up in first conversations with folks too. Like me, when I got started, I owed tens of thousands of dollars. I did not have tens of thousands of dollars saved up. So that was cool because he was doing good things conventionally. Yeah. You know, is what I'm saying. Then he learned
working
about this
hard,
idea.
but not overspending.
And he had this idea about how he's going to be building tiny homes on property. And he's capable and he's got that skill set and that experience and that kind of stuff. But he's just wanting to be the most efficient that he can be with the capital that he already has, too. So just really neat seeing somebody coming in on a second stage in life, you know, basically a second career, learning about this banking system on top of what they're already doing.
If you're on YouTube and you see us, you might have some related videos. That reminds me, Jesse, of Chris Kirkpatrick.
Okay.
What he calls to infinite bank is what save and spend is to infinite banking. He calls cash flow hacking. Okay, so it's going to be the same thing. We just codified our presentation around the save and spend system. Inside the save and spend system, you have the 3-cup setup. Those of you who can see it here. Okay, we got somebody.
Jake, I see a question too, or no, Hunter. Hunter was the one asking that. Yeah, you can put questions in the chat. We'll get to them. Put them down.
Yeah, and what he does is he was saying, because I was just a few minutes ago, I was saying, you know what? Let's cast off the beginners for a second. Let's go deep. Let's go 102. That's a school term, right? I didn't make it to those classes. 101s until you graduate. All right. So, hey there. We got Mindy on.
What's up, Mindy?
We got Mindy out there on. Boom. There it is on our Zoom experience. Okay. So let's go 102. So Chris Kirkpatrick was in a YouTube video recently that I was watching. You can find him. Life 180 is what he calls his channel. And he was saying, you know, a lot of people simplify infinite banking. I felt called out for a second, but I didn't feel like it in a bad way because I'm friends with him. A lot of people simplify infinite banking too far for people who are not right to get involved.
Okay.
Because they are going to, the idea he was trying to get across is people who are in the stage or phase of life, it's not an age, but they're in the stage or phase of life where they are working for their dollars, putting in effort, and they are probably on the line or work, as we would say back in the day, or working hourly or something like, they just don't get it. So you have to break it down so far that it ends up corrupting the idea behind financing and banking because of the way you might portray it to them, trying to reach out to people who are not ready to grasp it. And I felt that for a second because what we specialize in, if you like the idea of infinite banking, is we make it simple. We make it so simple, I think he would say it's too simple.
Okay.
The problem is you're going to help people who are just not ready to pull this off.
So I feel like there's a lot of value in that, but also it makes me think of, you know, a piece of scripture that Nash has in his Becoming Your Own Banker book, which is the people perish for lack of a vision. So while there's a lot of merit to what Chris is saying there, I still think it should, in the other hand, you should have that idea of, well, when somebody's exposed in a good way, with enough details, not too dumbed down, right?
Right.
But when they are exposed to the idea that they can become their own banker, that's a whole new vision on life too, and we got to be casting that at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Showing them something that could be ahead of them if they decide they're ready. If they decide they're ready for that exodus, so to speak.
Yeah, I have to agree with both of you.
Both at the same time.
I have to agree with both of you, right?
I'm saying.
Okay, all right. Let's see what they're saying out here on our TikTok experience. Rudy says, can you explain the return on cash value after accounting fees and premiums? Seems like that is coming from a good place and a good question, but it might be tough. Rudy, I'm going to do the best I can. Sophia also, real quick, says, which platform are you contracted with? That seems like it's coming from a good place, but both of these questions are like, what?
The wording.
Yeah, the word, both of them, the wording. What? Okay, are you trying to say, Sophia, what companies do we write business with? Is that all you're trying to say? I think that is. If it is,
she might not have heard where we were talking earlier about, well, we're the educators. We're also the licensed professionals.
Yeah.
Doing work across the country.
But let us know if you're still out there with us. Okay, and I'm going to answer you, Rudy, in just 1 second. But JD, I'm just seeing if there's one-word answers I can help the other folks with.
Sure.
JD says, why do certified financial planners recommend term insurance instead of your products? Because I'm not talking about a product, and I'm not talking about traditional financial planning where we hope you have enough money because you invested it long-term. We're talking about banking, and JD did not mention banking, so JD is not probably quite yet realizing what banking is and how important it is, and that it's always happening. Even if you get involved with traditional financial planning and going into investments, which is not a word that I've said here, we don't get into that too quickly at all because you're not going to be investing if you're involved with banking. They're separate things. If you're thinking those things, you're already going to leave us behind because you're going to jump over that banking exists and is happening in your life and you don't realize it. You don't control it. And you're going to go, how do I get returns? Okay. Hopefully that is a helpful thought to you. But Rudy, if you're still out there, let us know. Rudy, I want to answer your question. If you scroll up a little bit, ladies and gents, Rudy says, can you explain the return on cash value? That right there is not a good phrase or clause. After accounting fees and premiums. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do my best to assume a better way to ask the question. One is, can you explain the return on premium? That's how I'm going to at least start it. Return on premium after accounting fees, okay, and premiums that go in. Your cash value is the net cash of your future benefit. Mm-hmm. Your benefit is the death benefit. Your premiums buy something from the insurance company. Premiums buy death benefit. Everything is associated with the premium. There's a cost for everything. If there's commission, it has to come because there was premium. If there was cash value, it has to come because there was premium paid. If there were fees, it has to come because premium was paid, yes? So if you go to the grocery store and you pay $100 for your groceries, all the costs were wrapped into the $100 you gave them. Someone got paid, someone else got paid, someone third got paid, the rent got paid, the manufacturers got paid. It's all wrapped up into the cost. You don't care about that. All you see on the screen at the grocer is broccoli. It's all you saw, and it said $2.99 for broccoli. You paid $3. They give you 1 cent change back. Let's relate that to what you're saying. If you decide to pay for broccoli and the cost is $2.99, there was a lot of things that went into that $2.99. Mm-hmm. And you overpaid for it $3. So they give you change and the broccoli. Cash value is how much net you have for the total. Sometimes you can visually or mentally wrap your mind around the idea that it's change. Cash value is how much net equity you have in the full amount. I don't even think that did a good job, but maybe that helped Rudy. So cash value is how much net equity you have in your death benefit, and it's going to have to rise because of the word that it is and that I used, equity. It's how much equity you have. So your premiums bought this. Your premiums take care of all costs associated, fees associated. It buys the death benefit. Cash value is the net equity you have so far. Rudy, let me know if that's helpful for you, if you're even still here. I know I waited a couple minutes before answering that. Okay, what's going on up there on YouTube?
Yeah, so let's get into Hunter's questions. He's asking, and it seems like you got a good handle on your own answer, Hunter, but he's asking for the benefit of everybody. I'm wondering, when you take a policy loan and you go to repay it back, where does the repayment money go to?
It's a good one.
And then the second part of his question is it like paying premium, the loan repayment? The answer is no. Let's just go ahead and put that there. They are two different things. We'll show you here and answer it in a second. And does the interest only go to the insurance company? When you decide to pay additional interest, does it go into the PUA rider? All right, let's get into it. So loan repayments are separate from premiums.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You do it.
So premiums that you put into cup number one, they buy you that guaranteed death benefit. So you've picked your premium amount. You have funded your policy, your private banking system, your save and spend system. Because you funded it its whole life, you got a death benefit. And because it was properly structured for the banking purpose, you've got some cash value that you can get to. Your question, Hunter, is, well, if I access capital via policy loans, I go out and I do something in the wide world, right? And then it's time to repay. The repayment goes back to fill up the reservoir of cup number two. Okay, so loan repayments, because loans were taken from cup number two against cup number two's value, they're going to go back in here. All right, so that's the first part of your question. And then the second part is, yes, we're wanting to be good bankers. So that means we're wanting to pay interest just like we would for anything else that we're going to do in life. We want to give a true market value, okay? So when we experience whatever we experience from using that money and we've made a loan repayment, we would like to pay extra. Okay. Now, part of that is going to go to the insurance company itself. When you make a policy loan, they have an interest rate, simple interest rate. You can pay that interest back. You can pay it back, right? And it'll go to the insurance company, which we're happy to do because we own this piece of private property as part owners of the company itself. So when they pay us these dividends, all right, because they're profitable, we benefit from that indirectly. We're very happy about that. So the interest that they charge the loan, goes to the insurance company. But if we're given a true market value to our capital when we take the policy loan in the first place, there's going to be extra. And I think you're on the pulse of, having that right answer for yourself. Yes, that is going to be additional premium. So if we pay ourselves, we did pay interest to the insurance company. But if we pay a true market value on our capital and we pay ourselves that extra interest that otherwise would have gone to a bank, that additional premium then increases our death benefit, increases our cash value. And you just grow that and you scale that over time. And as you do that, that also means that your dividends are going to be bigger in the future, and those go into cup number one as well. And that also grows and scales your system over time.
Is that a thorough answer for you? I'll say it super short form. Some of the interest that we don't show you, we're not showing you dollars and cents, we're showing you cups. Some of the interest is going to the company. Some of the interest is making your system bigger. That's without breaking it down number by number, and we can do that. You can do that when you have a policy. It can be clearly seen. If you don't pay interest, they owe you less money. Remember who owes you money. Mm-hmm. And is it Hunter up there? I can barely see. It's small for me. Okay, so if you don't pay interest after you take $5,000 of a loan, they charge you interest. They owe you less money. Remember, they owe you money. Got it? Okay, when we put it back, that's a loan repayment. Extra interest, the way we show you here, it's kind of, we're missing out on the part of that loan interest that does go back to the company. And we typically show you, because of the visuals we have, the part that makes your policy bigger. It's all part of the whole system, and you are making money. Remember, your dollars that are still in this cup in premium are still experiencing uninterrupted compound interest. We call it constant compounding around here, while you have outstanding amortized interest owed. So if you don't do math or see all that math all in one spreadsheet, it might throw you off, or the way other people explain it, of course, makes it sound different than us. Totally fine. You win every single time. Jake has something, yes?
Yeah, I think so. And then Markeisha had a comment. Great breakdown. Thank you. All right. Jake says the interest paid to us on our anniversary date, is that based on the whole premium or cash value?
Whole premium. Whole premium. Everything is based on your premiums, Jake.
Premiums.
Okay. Also, you are given, your interest is going to be credited to you at a guaranteed interest rate, 3 and some odd, depending on which policy and company you have. It's in between 2 and 3.25, basically. And you're going to experience new cash value totals every month. You can see them go up. Okay? The interest rate is an annual interest rate. You can see the growth every month you log in. You'll be able to see that, Jake, when you get your policy. Jake is in underwriting. I mentioned that last week or the week before. So it is an annual interest rate, but you can see what the interest you're earning, Jake, on this money. You can see how much more it's getting you and giving you monthly in the back office of your actual policy.
Yep. And then the dividends are on top of that. And we were just looking at
dividends are going to be given to you on your anniversary.
Yep.
Yeah, which just make the death benefit rise. Paid up, additions. Additions means the policy got bigger. Paid up is a modifier, an adjective, right? Paid up means some of that was immediately cash value. Yep, and we were looking at one of mine. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's cool to see the dividends on top of that guaranteed growth every year.
Yes, so I have a policy that experienced an anniversary last week, and my Dividend was $346, okay, in this particular policy, one of my 9 or so.
And it bought how much?
It bought
up additional insurance.
Okay, the dividend that they gave me. Okay, hold it up for us.
Yep.
The dividend is that little shot glass we're always showing you. We put it as a red $sign on it because we're going to put it in the red cup. $346.74.
Back into the policy.
I told them to buy me paid up additions. So we put it in this cup. It buys additions, paid up additions. Okay, it bought $652 of paid up additional insurance.
So $1 was getting $2.
Yes,
$1 today was getting $2.
Made this go up, $652.72 of additions. Yep.
Very cool to see. So Hunter does say, excellent, that helps clear it up. Awesome. We're
cool.
glad.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Mimi's back with us.
What's up, Mimi? Yes. Okay.
Hi, guys. Also, could you explain the segregated account?
Sure.
Is this only for repayment back to the policy? Okay. Yeah, good question about a segregated account.
We don't use segregated accounts anymore. It's integrated. Integrated accounts. Look at this white boy right here. Integrated accounts. Okay. But we learned under some great mentors that use that term.
Yeah,
we don't
I've
say
still
it much.
used it.
Yeah, we don't say it much around here, but yeah, we understand what you're saying. The other reason we don't use it tons at the cash compound is because we typically are using a company that allows us to be able to forego a third-party savings or segregated account and actually put Hunter's dollars right back on top. Sometimes the segregated account is talked about because not every company will allow you to get extra dollars in or pay back loans plus interest all the time. So we use a company that allows the flexibility
Very
for
flexible.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't always have to go to a third savings account. Go ahead, Jesse.
But it could be helpful for the individual. You know,
It can be.
Yeah, there are folks out there that like to cross their T's and dot their I's, and it's just neat or tidy for you as the individual to say, well, okay, this regular conventional checking or savings account, I'm personally deciding I'm going to put my IBC money over there. That's the account that I'll make my premium payments from. When I request policy loans, that's where I'm going to have them send it to. When I'm going to pay extra interest back to myself for the activity that I'm using my capital for, that's where I'll stage it until I'm ready to make additional premium payments to my policy. It's a great way to keep things neat, tidy, separate from grocery money, let's say. So you could use it for all those things, Mimi.
Now, yeah, I did not know when I was first being taught about this system and my mentors that utilize the term segregated account, I thought it had to do something with the infinite banking policy.
I got you.
I did not realize it was a psychological way to handle the system.
Yeah, just
really
more
what it
mental
is.
structuring.
Yes.
And something
Yeah.
physical.
So hold on. Your question, though, I'm not sure if it was completely answered.
Okay.
Okay. Is it for repayment? So
Is it only for deposits
probably for your, yeah.
from and repayment
probably,
back to the policy?
Yeah, it's separate from the policy. It's to help you be a banker is what it's for. It's help you, like Jesse said, keep things in order so you know who it belongs to. So typically, if you're going to pay back your loans, the segregated account for most people is going to be where they keep the money that they're paying back for their own good. And then maybe on their anniversary, maybe quarterly, maybe semi-annually, they take the money from that account that they were being a good banker with, and they put it back in the insurance company's coffers. They
Right.
put it back, call the insurance company, take that money, transfer it over, and make the policy bigger and better. Does that make sense?
And I do it that way. I've got a
You do it?
particular
Okay.
account
Yeah.
that I like to stage my money there that's going to be premiums to policies.
There you go.
And that's
He
the
still
one
does it.
where
Right. I typically don't, actually. I got my money really is, and I'm not saying it's better, that's for sure, just in case you guys are wondering, but I typically just dump money in when I get it. As it comes in from income,
I got
if
you.
it's beyond what I need this month or something like that, I just dump it all on top of my policies, and I don't stage it in a third-party place.
I got you.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Maybe not. Maybe I need to try your system, which lots of people do.
Hey,
So-
it's about being your own banker.
It's being your own banker, people. Leave me alone. Get off my back.
So she says, yeah, just making sure it was okay to use my regular checking account. Or if I needed to get a second checking account, yeah, you can use the one you already have.
Go to your bank and open up. Some banks click, log in, click, start a new savings account. Like click. It just drops underneath the one you got. Makes sense?
Liz says she keeps a separate segregated account, but that's because she started with a small policy. Sure, we all start small.
Hey, we all start. I started with a decent policy for me, but
it's not my biggest.
But
it's my favorite.
Here's my favorite. But I've started so many policies after that, it seems.
Right.
You got to keep track of this mess, you know?
Yep.
Okay, great questions coming from our TikTok audience. Follow us right here at the Cash Compound. We talk and walk through infinite banking, the 1, 2, 3s of IBC. Liz, did you see our post this week, our YouTube feed post? Go find us at the Cash Compound on YouTube. We used your song, Liz. Did you hear it yet? Did you watch? Did you listen? Okay, sorry guys, just jumped in. What system is this? We call it the save and spend system. We're teaching people how to become their own banker. It is infinite banking. The infinite banking concept, there's only one way to do it out there if you do it Nelson's way. But we are going to talk through all those other ways. Everybody on TikTok thinks are possible. Kevin says, just went from a Primerica Agents Live to infinite banking. My feed is crazy. Welcome.
Right.
Okay. Well, Primerica, you're going to be hearing about term insurance. Yeah. You're going to be hearing about dying. You're going to be hearing about taking care of your family. All of those things are probably going to happen, and good. We are talking about banking. Okay? Kevin says, whole life or IUL to execute an infinite banking strategy. Infinite banking concept cannot be done with one of those two, Kevin. According to the man and the method and the book that he put together. One of those cannot be done. Who is that man? What did he say? Or are you going to take everybody else's opinion? I'm not that man. I did not write that book. But one of those two products you mentioned cannot be used for this. Okay? C. Moore says, bruh, the algorithm is algorithm. Correct. The algorithm is algorithming.
Is
right?
what it is.
If you're going to click on this, comment on this, watch that. For a while, I told you everything was in Spanish. Everybody was Mormon. I was like, what is happening?
Adelante, pues.
Yeah, I was like, what's happening? I did not realize what the algorithm. You start watching stuff, it's going to memorize it for you. And I'm like, what? What am I looking at? Yeah, I don't know anything about this. I can't understand anyone.
I got you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so to make sure I don't leave you hanging, we make people hang long enough around here. Is you cannot use universal life insurance products. There are multiple indexes included. You cannot use that for the infinite banking concept. I'll give you one or two quick reasons why. And most of those reasons have to do with things people don't know. You may know it, but they don't know it. So here's why. The cost of the insurance, premium, red cup, cup 1. We have a 3-cup system over here. The cost rises. The premium, left hand, the cost, right hand. Every year, annual renewable term, the cost rises. Because of that, if the cost rises over the course of your lifetime above the premiums you pay, it has to eat the cash. Or it has to go away. You didn't pay enough for it. The insurance goes away. Now we don't have cash to use. Second, the cash account, the cash value is not a constant rising stream. It is connected to the market through options that the insurance company controls. And they don't control the market. You don't control either. So how do we know we can use that product for cash flow? We don't know. So we're not going to recommend it or use it for infinite banking at all. Even if the returns of your cash value, because they're in the market, could be higher, we cannot use it for banking because of the variables that you do not control. So we're not going to recommend it.
I always think of that quote from Warren Buffett about rule number 1, never lose money.
There you go.
That one always pops up in my mind.
Now, you can't lose money to the market. That's not what we're saying. You cannot lose money to the market in life insurance. The problem is you can lose your life insurance because the cost goes up. If there's not any money in it and the cost rises, you can lose your life insurance even though you didn't lose to the market. All right, cool. All right. Watson says, what's the best way to use a MEC policy? You can still use a MEC policy the same way. So once a policy is MEC'd, it means it's just taxed if you borrow against it. And you can still use it. But now you're going to have taxes. We don't recommend that you MEC your policy. It's something you can do to it by funding it too much, far and beyond what that policy can hold. This cup holds 12 ounces. I'm not sure. And if you put 13 ounces in here, it might fit because we may not pierce the veil.
Yep.
But if you try to put 20 ounces in it, boom, it's going to spill. And if you overfund your policy too far, above and beyond what it was designed to hold, cash value, this is a green cup now, cash value becomes taxable. If your policy has already MEC'd, you've put in more money than it could have held, and it's now doesn't have the tax favorableness because life insurance is not income, then use it. Just pay the taxes, I guess. So we don't recommend MECing it, but you may have already MEC'd it, and you could MEC it, just know there'll be taxes. So we don't recommend that.
Not for banking.
Not for banking. All right, Shay says, love keeping my IUL agents family fed and giving the insurance company my upside. Okay, how do you set the system up? Jay Roan, we do this custom. Okay, there's always a Jake in the State Farm commercials, Flow and Progressive commercials, Duck and Aflac commercials, the general. You need an agent. So we customize policies like this for people on purpose. It has to have an agent. There's always a guy in Allstate with a deep voice, the nationwide guy. He's an agent. He's got Band-Aids all over his face. There's a reason they put agents in insurance commercials. It's because you need to find one. Call your local Geico agent to save it. They are trying to push you toward the agent, okay? So we want to help you, and we have a free consultation call with a coach like us. There's 4 coaches on our rotation currently in our system. We all do this personally, and we walk and talk people through helping them get it set up. That's what we'll do. We'll do the hard part. We want to make sure you understand what you want, what you like, what you can do with it. We'll talk you through that. It's free, okay? Kevin says, so a short pay. I'm not going to short pay on purpose normally, Kevin. Whole life or a Heck V. Heck V means that, man, what company is he coming from?
Heck V. No.
You don't know?
I said heck no. I'm just playing around.
If he's saying Heck V, can you name the company? I can.
No, I'm drawing a blank on it.
Mass Mutual.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So,
I mean, I know the answer to the question, but
yeah. So anyway, I'm not going to use that company normally, Kevin.
I don't work
for a couple of reasons. Okay. There's nothing wrong with it. There's a few things that may not be right with it. So it's not the product, it's the banker. But I'm not going to set it up on purpose.
Whole life for our whole life.
Yeah. So yeah, that part is fine. But like a Heck V, you can run into problems if you want all the money early. What's rule number 1 from Nelson?
Think long range.
Think long range. Think long term. Heck V, in most cases, is promoting the thinking of short term immediately. So be careful. That's all we're saying. Okay. Any more up there?
No. Somebody was asking about, I saw on the TikTok, though, about the timeline. I thought that was a good segue from the last thing that you had said. They were wanting to know, how long does it take to do our process, it sounded like.
Oh, great question. So if you want to go from I don't have a policy to having a policy, we hit a record last week. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Was it one of your people?
Nope, wasn't me either.
How quick was it, Jesse?
2 days.
I thought it was 2 hours.
2 hours.
Wasn't it 2 hours?
I'm impressed with 2 days, but you're right.
2 days is fast, right? It was 2 hours. 2 hours. Okay. So the process goes like this. Normally, people are going to watch our video and get a sense of what's going on. When they call us, that's when the process can start. The process includes paperwork. We got to fill out an application. We'll do that for you. We have a system that's going to virtually, electronically help you out. We are going to do that call with you for your application. If you want car insurance, you fill out the paperwork. You want phone insurance, you fill out the paperwork. We'll fill out the paperwork for you. Then we're going to turn that paperwork in, and normally 60, 70% of the time, the insurance company is going to require a medical exam. 20, 30%, 40%, they don't, and that goes faster. But if they require a medical exam, which probably going to take, if you actually sign your paperwork, you don't have hidden medicines in the cabinet that you haven't told us about, and the insurance company realizes from your blood work, this dude drinks lean or something. That's like my, whatever. It's going to take 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay? You have a policy in force. And then maybe the question you're actually asking us is, how quick can I get to the money? That's a different question. Once you start the policy, there will be cash values for you to leverage within the month. As soon as the check clears, will have cash values. Daniel, are you guys talking about infinite banking? Daniel, yes, they're trying to hide your comments, but I'm not going to let them. Yes, we're talking about utilizing whole life insurance from mutual companies that pay dividends to finance things with. That's exactly what we're talking about here. It's the infinite banking concept 101. We're going to solve the problems that you do not control your cash in traditional financial planning methods. You don't control it, and that's a problem. You're losing a lot of money. And everyone wants to just go straight to investing. It's not what I said. I'm not combating investing. We're making sure your money isn't leaking out the bottom.
Yep. I think control is the first part. I think profiting is the second part. Not in an investment way like you just said, but yeah, people are not controlling and profiting from the banking function in their life. What's up, Bud?
Bud is out there. Hopefully you can hear us. I'm assuming.
Bud earlier today.
Who isn't talking with Bud? 3 of us talking with Bud. I'm assuming it's the Bud.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There he is.
What's up,
That's
Bud?
Bud. All right. We can hear you if you talk to us, I think. And you get priority. If you register for our Zoom, you can always talk first. So what you got for us, if anything, my friend? Just unmute if you want to shout out to us, or you can type stuff in the chat, okay? We're ready for it. Okay, let's see. Who else have I talked to this week? Things that are going on. Well, we had a good discussion with our internal team. We've got some agents in the training process, some folks who don't show up as coaches on some of our live experiences, and we're talking about someone who is concerned about the guaranteed growth that they are currently experiencing in their 2-year-old policy. And they're saying, hey, the trajectory of where this is going over the course of the next 20, 26 years until I turn 70 and move on to the next phase of my life, retirement, I'm concerned about. It seems like my guaranteed growth, my projections are just not that big. What do you think about that, Jesse?
I thought a mixture of things. I thought how that's a normal, natural thought to have even after you've already started this process, because you got to think, I mean, say best case scenario, a 20-year-old comes to us, an 18-year-old. They still already had 18 years of conventional thinking, and they've not been their own banker. So if they've only been their own banker for, or maybe even it's better to say they've owned policies and maybe used policies for a couple of years, it still just doesn't outweigh the thinking of 18 years of doing it a different way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can understand where you're at. When you say things like what we heard, I felt the same way. I experienced those same mental hurdles where it was a progression. It's not a full flip overnight to becoming your own banker. There are levels of understanding and implementing the process of banking. So I get it, I guess, is the first thing that I
think you've said, I think you said it in a very healthy way. Is that, to be honest, I think the growth of my cash in policies that I've owned for the last 9 years or less, I have that same thinking, to be honest. I just know, as opposed to how I feel, I know that banking is more important than just growth of money that's not being used in a banking environment.
For sure.
That's really what it is. I know that. So what we're talking about is being able to finance purchases. And a bank right now, a bank, your bank, Bud's bank, has tons of loans out. And if they never got them back, they'd be in trouble too. But banking is, there's going to be a payback plus interest. So at any given time, your bank could have way more money if it stopped loaning out money right now. But the problem, if it stopped loaning out money right now, is that it will never make money again.
Not cash
That's
flowing.
the problem. It's not cash flowing. We need to have that ability to cash flow no matter what. And sometimes people go, hey, well, at the end of this time or this projection down the road, I won't have tons. Well, will you be cash flowing?
Makes me think of where
It's an interesting,
Nelson in the book says the banks are making a really good living off of us.
Yes, they're currently making a good living off of us.
Really good living.
It doesn't matter if millions of dollars are not sitting in the bank right now. They're currently making a living off of all of us. Whether, the bank may have loaned out, the bank on the corner here may have just loaned out 90% of their cash reserves because they saw a great opportunity. Does that mean they're broke? it means that they've got cash flow coming out and it has to come
Assets.
back in. They've got assets that are going to pay. So I think
And collateral.
collateral, right?
Got
Yeah,
assets
yeah.
and
There's going to be
and
some
cash
collateral
flow, and we're
too.
saying
Yeah.
people can do that for themselves. All those things.
Daniel, how do you get involved? We hope that you decide to work with us by at least just watching our video. No obligation at all. It's a free video to watch. Bud just watched it. Ask him. He's on Zoom. You can't ask him. But all right, watch that video. We will talk very soon. Underneath our video, it says free consultation if you go to our regular link tree. If you click on it, it says watch video. Click that. You can schedule a time. We want to have a conversation with you with all of your questions, and then we can help you get started. Bud, we can hear you out there. You got a question for us? Thoughts, questions, concerns?
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Yeah, on the computer.
It's on the computer, though,
Okay.
so let me
Bluetooth.
make sure you're in the right place here.
Gotcha. What's up, bud? We got you.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I spoke with I think his name's Jesse.
Yep, you
There
got
he
me.
is.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, awesome. Okay, yeah. Earlier our conversation was awesome.
Appreciate you, man. You were asking good questions.
Bud says
No,
we're
thank you.
awesome for everyone who can't hear.
Yeah, if you didn't hear that, yeah, we need to.
You
repeat
guys
that
can
part.
hear. You guys can hear, but you guys I don't think can hear. So Bud says we're awesome. Keep going, Bud.
I'm being put on the spot here. But yeah, earlier when I was asking about the would my wife and I be able to withdraw within the time frame, and then of course you said in the very first months.
Whoa. And I
After
told
30
you,
days, yeah.
I told you in an email or a text or an Instagram or whatever, text. You're not allowed to use that word anymore, Bud. You went back to it.
He didn't say withdraw earlier, though. We did talk policy loans. You said withdrawal. That's JD being a good coach right there.
Not going to
But,
withdraw anything.
Yeah, we're not withdrawing stuff. But policy loans.
Bud, that went
Yeah.
right over Bud's head. He's acting like he doesn't know what we're talking
Letting
about.
it soak in.
Come on, Bud. We're not going to withdraw any money that we put in. We're going to buy money with our premiums, and then we're going to
Yeah, I'm still
borrow
wrapping it all,
against.
you know what I
Yes,
mean?
there we go. We're letting it sink in. There it is. Okay, cool. Keep going, man.
Oh shoot.
Because we can withdraw, Bud. We can withdraw money. We haven't taught you that yet. We can withdraw the money back out. That's separate. So we don't want you to get confused.
Yeah, and I keep getting confused.
That's okay.
Go ahead, man. Keep going. Yeah.
Well, I'm just not really too sure what to ask.
Oh, well, that's fine
tell.
if you don't have anything specific. But we just ramble on these for an hour on Thursday afternoon. So anything that comes up or anything
Okay.
that we say, you can always chime in on or ask about. Or lots of people like yourself, Jake out there on YouTube, they start the process with us, then they join us, right? We prompt them, join us on one of these and hear from other people, best practices, what we're doing, what we've learned this past week.
Yep. And
So
Bud's
you
got
don't
his
have to say
application call scheduled tomorrow. Yeah, if you don't have any questions, keep tuning in. See if you pick up some nuggets from other things that we cover. You've got your app call scheduled for tomorrow. So,
Yeah, 10:30. Yep.
yep,
Wonderful.
fantastic, man.
But all right. Well, yeah.
Get that book for your wife.
You,
Go order that Becoming Your Own Banker book.
of course. Well,
All
I'll
right.
talk to you guys later.
Yeah,
All
man.
right,
Glad
buddy.
you're here. Okay. So, anybody else out there on TikTok? Candace says, I'm not sure if you showed any of your policies, but would you mind showing examples of one of yours? Candace, I do on lives quite often, not on these Thursday lives when I'm live in the middle of the day. But when I go live, I typically show, if you say paperwork, I'm always prompting people like paperwork. Who wants to see the paperwork? I will show one of mine. Now, if you watch our video, Candace, we've taken a real policy, made it beautiful for you, and used it for examples of paying off debt and buying cars. You can watch that right now. So, Candace, if you want to see a policy in action, you can watch that. Click here, go to our regular TikTok profile. There's a link there. Jesse thought his was a link. It was not a link. We have a link. It's link tree at the end. The link, that's the link tree. And then watch our video. Okay, and then you can see an example right away if you like. Appreciate it.
Making fun of my technological ineptitude.
We all have to look at it, and these apps are crazy, and you have to keep up with them.
Right.
You have to pay attention. This one is business. This one is personal. This is a link. This link is broken. They change where it is, so we're telling people to click things on a virtual screen that we don't know. It's good to have. Imagine how much better you'd be if you're in a community of people who are all practicing.
Yep.
That's why iron is sharpening iron. So every once in a while, we remember, hey, Jesse is doing this. I'm doing this. He noticed something. I noticed something. We talk about it together, and he's now allowed to utilize my mistakes so he can level up faster. If he was by himself, it would have been, heck, it's probably been a really long time since we noticed his link situation, but it would have It would have been a lot longer.
We're getting it fixed. We're leveling up.
Yeah.
Monique is saying thank you. She says you rock on YouTube.
There we go.
Let me tell you a bit about a call I had earlier. See if this prompts any questions from Bud or Monique or anybody else. So I had a real good call earlier this morning before I spoke with Bud, and it was a 25-year-old that had just come across this concept and was asking me some questions after seeing the presentation video. And that was really cool to hear, somebody who has further education plans, working full-time already, family goals, et cetera, just having, that conversation and talking about banking, seeing how the dots, can connect and we can work on these goals that were already there and how infinite banking can improve that, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm encouraged because I'm thinking, well, I saw it when I was 30 years old. Here's somebody seeing it 5 years before me because of this online presence of links being in the right place or whatever. It's
I promise you, I wouldn't have understood it. That's what makes me nervous about seeing things out there, knowing that when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
That's true.
And I'm what is it right now that I don't have my mind around that's in front of me or could be in front of me because the algorithm, I could put it in front of me, but I'm not ready to receive.
Right.
Because I'm trying to be ready to receive these dollar bills, okay? Because I got stuff to do. So stuff be costing money. Okay, we're going to wrap up shortly, so go ahead and get your questions, comments, and concerns in right now. Let me think of somebody else that I've talked to. I've got a call in 1 hour and 8 minutes today, and this person is a person who missed a consultation. If you've been, Bud, like to tell me he had to talk right away and then promptly missed a call.
Oh,
Bro, I just called you out.
on.
Yeah. Told me, hey, I'm ready to go. Gotta go. Yay. And then promptly missed a call. He's still here. We love Bud. Okay. But this person missed a call last week. I got another call. And, man, I got to hashtag protect the wealthy around here. But he's got a very interesting first name.
Okay.
It's also with a G. But I said 2 G's that I've had. Call this morning, from a text yesterday, a call this afternoon. And when I said G, literally, they're both G names. This one's interesting. I'll let him live in anonymity until he becomes a client.
All right, Gerald, live in your anonymity.
It's not Gerald. It's a good name. It's not an interesting name. That's a pretty common name.
I don't know if it's uninteresting.
I didn't say uninteresting. I said common. I threw that in. It's common. This one was a not so common name.
Gregorio.
Okay. Hey, Bud, where is Bud? Bud, where are you? What state? He's about to roll out.
Ohio.
But was it Ohio?
No, that was my call
Ohio?
earlier
Yes,
today,
no?
wasn't it?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Waterford, Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ohio.
boom.
Okay.
You got it.
Awesome.
2 points, Jesse.
Yep.
Okay. We know you got to go back to work, man. So appreciate you jumping on. We appreciate you jumping on, Bud.
Yes.
Okay. Peace out, man.
Y'all have
We'll
a
talk
good
to you soon. Yeah.
evening.
We'll get you applied for soon. Okay. Anybody else out there? PA. We got Pennsylvania in the building. I spoke
Awesome.
in Pennsylvania last in March. I believe it was in north of Philly. I flew into Philly and went north to not Lansdowne.
All right, question. You got a favorite cheesesteak place?
I've been to Geno's, and I have a story. Boy, do I have a story.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! It's the only place that. Oh gosh, it is, but it has not. Gosh, you guys ready for this? So, is the second time I was in Philly.
Okay.
15 years ago, and my friend is giving me kind of the tour treatment. You know what I'm saying? Let's walk around. It was
That's nice.
late. I was only there a day or something. And we went to Geno's, and they said, "Hey, be ready when you go up there." You know, it's one of those places you all know who've been there. You don't keep people waiting. You have your exact change ready. You don't ask questions. You either want the hot one or the cold one. That's all you say. Don't ask them questions.
Special custom orders.
Yeah, that's right. Like they just say, "I need the number 1 or the number 2." That's it. You don't mess with these people. Something like that is what they were telling me. I was like, okay, so I'm kind of nervous. Here's the problem. I don't drink cola all that much. I drink way more of it now than I did at that time in my life. Yeah, I'm looking for a Sprite or a lemonade or a water or something. So they like have Pepsi. So I didn't bother getting one, but I got the cheesesteak hot with the hot sauce.
Okay.
That was a mistake
and no
by
beverage.
itself. No beverage. So I bite into this thing, and it's impossible to think after that point. Like I can't think. Okay, and then, okay, Dinos. How do you say it? D-Y, Dinos, or Dinos? D-E-E-E-E, nose. Okay, so is it Geno's? I thought I went to Geno's.
Yeah,
is it Dino? Is it Dino?
They're throwing me off by.
Seymour, help us out. Help us out. Spell things. Tell us where. Draw us a map. Okay, hold on. Is Geno's? It's Geno's, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so help us understand.
Typo.
Max is the best. Okay.
Okay, we're
so
not gonna fight.
I take
Kings
a bite.
is another one, I think.
I take a bite. No longer can see straight. Okay. Don't have a drink. All right. Line is 5 people long. I can't get back in this line, and I think we're like walking or something, or we need to go sit down over there. So, and I don't think they paid for me. Like my friends paid for me because I'm visiting them or whatever. So like I wasn't prepared to like, I need to drink before I can think. It was so bad. So I ended up having to, first off, I opened the sandwich. Is it called a sandwich? I apologize. Cheesesteak. I opened the sandwich and took a napkin and scraped off every piece of hot sauce. I cannot bite. I will not bite this again. It's so hot. Okay, so now we have the hotness has seeped down into things. This is, this is a spread.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't take another bite. I can't eat this. And I'm trying to be polite, but I can't hear what they're saying.
Did your friend get a hot one?
I cannot see.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like they knew what was going on. And if they did, they had a drink.
Right.
I ended up having to take the drink from them. And it was like she was my friend from high school. I was with her and her boyfriend. I have to take his drink. Like I met this guy in the same day. I had to take his drink.
Commandeer.
And
his
like,
beverage.
I'm just, yeah, it was over. Anyway, that's my cheesesteak story. Cheesesteak story.
Awesome.
Anyway. Okay. Gosh, it's just a horrible part of town.
Well, I mean.
I think
and
I remember
a long
that too.
walk if you're going from
I don't know
Independence
where
Hall.
we were.
walked
No,
from
I think
Independence Hall.
Oh, I think we had just left a Kicks game. The minor league soccer team. I think we went to a Kicks game first. This would have been after or something like that. Does that make sense? Am I saying things right? You know, in Philly, all the sports arenas are like in the same block, which is awesome. Like
Makes sense.
yeah, everything is next to each other. Like the 3 or 4 arenas are all right there.
Nice and organized.
Mhm.
Originally considered for the capital, I feel like. I don't think I've
Philadelphia
ever-
was the capital.
Right.
Yes. Mhm.
Right.
Did I tell you about the new presentation I got coming up? Oh,
I don't
I
think
think
so.
I've told you. Oh, yeah. Philadelphia is involved. I'm going to tell you as soon as we get off. It's about time for us to go, guys. Appreciate you joining on YouTube. Follow us, subscribe, ring the bell. School is in session. We're walking and talking people through code cracking cash flow. Do we have something else up there on YouTube?
Monique
And then-
was just giving us a heads up. She says her daughter will be 18 in October, and she'll be getting in touch with us. Awesome. Yep.
Love to hear it. My kids will.
Policies on all of them.
Yeah, they have policies now. Of course, they don't manage them quite yet. My oldest is 10. Maybe by the time they're 13, 16, they can manage their policies. But hopefully at 18, maybe they leave the nest and get their own policy. At that point, I'm not sure at 18 yet. We'll see how they do when they start working in the office. If they should manage the policies that I've bought them at this point. I'm sure we'll have lots of content around that when our kids become of age. How are we going to pass on that legacy or responsibility or opportunity to the kids on policies we bought and that we've managed and we've owned and worked with them on? Peace out, guys. Talk to you.